Welcome to episode 6 of our Grind for Greatness challenge. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. It's your first time or you've been keeping up the series since it started. We are on the 2nd of May, 1981. This is probably the biggest show we have ever ran. We have our biggest storyline in the company's history coming to a close between Terry Funk and Jake Roberts for the world title inside of a steel cage. We open up with Kevin Von Erich, Matt Bourne, Iceman King Parsons, The Firefly, and Tully Blanchard. 5 of our top wrestlers, 3 of which being company's OG. One of those 3 is The Firefly, who is my player avatar. Part of this Grind for Greatness challenge is that we must get a 100 rated match with my player character on a legendary event. So hopefully he can put on a good performance today. We also have Matt Bourne, who's a new wrestler to the roster and has performed admirably in his first, I think, 2 or 3 matches he's had. Kevin Von Erich, not Kerry Von Erich, I think is the more well-known brother, but so far Kerry's still dealing with some personal issues in the save. So we're letting his brother get some time, and hopefully we can reunite the Von Erichs when we get a tag division one day. Our second match on the card tonight is Mike Sharp versus The Barbarian. The Barbarian is going to make his debut tonight. Hopefully should put on a good match against another OG from our first ever show. What was it? I think 15 months ago. No, I can't do math. 17 months prior. Jack Armstrong also making his debut against our lovely jobber, Joshua Ben Gurion. And then our main event, which if it gets below a 60, I will be disappointed. And this is with me only ever getting 160 in the past. And it was between these 2 men back at Winter's Trials. I say let's get straight into the show and kick it off strong. In our first match, we get a 37 segment rating as Matt Bourne defeats Kevin Von Erich, Iceman King Parsons, The Firefly, and Tully Blanchard when Matt Bourne pinned Iceman King Parsons with the Northern Exposure. Good match to start the show off. 30 for Kevin Von Erich, I think is his best performance yet. Matt Bourne, a 46 is by far his best. That is amazing. Iceman King Parsons at 28, not bad. Me, 30, and Tully Blanchard got a 42. I think one of his best as well. I think that's a great way to start our show off strong. Next, we get a brawl. A 42 rated brawl. A Barbarian got a 45. I mean, he is definitely a brawler. That is what we brought him in to do. But a 45 is super, super impressive. Mike Sharp got a 32. And he's got a savage gimmick that got an initial rating of great. We need some good kind of like faces to come in and round out the roster right now. Because as much as like I am a former world champion in the save, I am nowhere near the level of any of our top competitors. And we need another top face other than Terry Funk. The Barbarian might be filling that. Anything we need to know about his gimmick? Standard, that is great to see. Even though Mike Sharp got victory, I think the Barbarian is in for a great push already. 27, expected this to be bad. This was our storytelling match with Jake Armstrong, who I don't think has amazing psychology. I kind of expected this to bomb, or at least do a lot worse than it actually did. He got a 36, Joshua got a 19. Anything about Jack Armstrong? This offbeat, unstable gimmick, and is more menacing in angles. That is something I think we will definitely end up using eventually. Standing L-drop finish, not great, but that's fine. It's the 1980s. Look and deal with it. In our next segment, this is the main event inside a steel cage. Superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Terry Funk defeats Jake Roberts in a classic cage match in 15-22 by pinfall with a pile driver. It was meant to feel like an epic, and Terry Funk defends his title. Jake Roberts can no longer challenge Terry Funk for the world title during this reign. What is Jake Roberts going to do going forward? Jake Roberts got a 46. Terry Funk got a 66. And once again, they go storyline has come to an end. Terry Funk was off his game for 66. That is just insane. And now Terry Funk gets to cut a promo after defending his world title. Where is the Funker going next? He goes and grabs a mic and sits on the ramp. Tells Jake, we will fight once again, but for now, we're done. I laid you out as the rules you laid out. Never again during this title run. I am on to bigger and better things. I want to fight someone new for this title, so I'm sending out a challenge to the best wrestlers in North America. The Battle Leagues start next month, and all 6 entrants will be new debuting superstars. That is right, other than just Jake Armstrong and the Barbarian, who I thought will be 2 of the weaker wrestlers that I have recently signed, and both put on great opening performances. I have signed, I think, 7 other wrestlers to chuck on to our shows. So 6 of them will be debuting at our next show. I am so excited for that. All 3 of them will debut next show and 3 the show afterwards. I am super, super excited to see how they perform and what we can expect from them. The best wrestlers in North America. Just a reminder, the Battle Leagues is our yearly 2 groups of 3 competition. And the 2 winners will face off in a finals match to crown the next top #1 contender for the world title. Last year was won by Tully Blanchard, who defeated Terry Funk in the final. This year, I'm sure it will be even better. Because one of our wrestlers was able to show up on the new ones, we got penalized for not being able to book a six-way match I had planned on the card for the 5-way. I think it's a bit harsh. Maybe even pulled us below a 50, which is annoying. But I think we can work around that. That is no sweat. We still increased in popularity, so I'm very happy with that. Dress the locker room. The Barbarian absolutely needs to get some praise, and so does Jake Roberts. Barbarian seemed pleased. Jake Roberts was pleased. I mean, Jake Roberts is loving me right now, which is great, because he's hating everyone else backstage and getting into fights. Financials, we gained $60 on a show that cost us $500 in worker costs, mostly on travel. That's kind of why I'm doing these. I'm trying to experiment with bringing these wrestlers from a bit further afield, like Jake Armstrong. And Jake Armstrong, I think we don't have to pay travel for, but we definitely have to pay travel for the Barbarian. So I'm pretty happy that we took our workers' cost around $500. We're up to 13 in the Southwest. We're targeting a 15 today, I think. That was not our best show ever, but the main event was amazing. Our second best match of all time. We ended the biggest story in the company's history. And we will have to be hoping to do even better with the new signings coming in. And what can Terry Funk do in this title reign to try and elevate himself? We have our show on here. There it is. Extremely positive feedback and a great show for fans. 177 people were there and showed up. Terry Funk has held the title for 29 days. He'll hold it for another 30 more before our next show. It's made one defense. It is 35 prestige. We're actually going to start getting to a point we're going to start putting on better matches to keep the prestige going up. Company Wars. We are still in 14th. We haven't quite gotten above Kanto yet, but Kanto has been putting on only amazing performances. So catching them might be difficult. They've got a 16 in the top region. We're not that far behind, I don't think, in just America. AWA and WCWA, owned by Kevin Von Erich, has recently started. Despite being a borderline jobber for us, he has somehow ended up being one of our biggest name, one of the biggest name owners in the world. Okay, so a quick look at our finances after the show. 1,192 made last month. So far, 4 in the green this month. I think there's a chance we are out of debt by the end of this episode, which for 2 episodes ago we were, where were we? We were 5.3k in debt. We nearly have that. We nearly have that all cleared in time for our biggest show of the year next episode. But before then, we have the Battle League, and we will have to go through the competitors for the Battle League very soon. I'll bring this to you after I have booked them. Okay, this is something slightly different I'm trying out in this video, and I kind of want to do for the future Battle Leagues, is I want to try and announce the entrants like this. So especially if I'm signing someone new for the event, it's not spoiled on like the loading screen or whatever, or the like just base company page. So I thought I would make a little PowerPoint going through each entrant one by one as they enter into the Battle Leagues. We have the blue group first, and then we will have the orange group at Heat of Battle before we have the champion crowned at Summer Stakes. The first entrant into the Blue League, there we go, is Tommy Rogers. 19-year-old, 1 year of experience. He's been very good, very young. I think he's a technician. He's someone I kind of think we might be able to build the company around in the future, or at least have as a star that we build up and keeps progressing. If his in-ring keeps going, like it looks like it's progressing really well. I like the look at him. He was always like slightly outside our range, but with me now willing to pay for travel, I think he's a great first pickup to enter the tournament. The second entrant into the blue group is Samu. I think I've talked about him a couple of times, or if not, I've definitely he's been in the back of my mind quite a lot. Samu is a brawler. He fits our style to perfection. He looks like a beast as well. Samu is someone, once again, who we know turns out to be very good. I know he's got a lot of potential. If I ever go tag teams, which I think is in my mind, I do want to add tag teams in at some point. I've got a plan for that, but that not happening this episode or probably next episode either. But I think Samu can be a beast, especially like in that tag team environment. If we sign Haku or something like that, I like the look of that idea. He's also, I think, only like 19, 20 still, very young. And I have a very young member into the third entrant, the one I'm the most excited about, and I think will be probably, I think if anyone will put on the 100 rated match with the Firefly, it will be Bret Hart, who would only be 33 or 34 at the time that match would have to take place. We have the Hitman on the roster, bar some knee issues. He is exactly who we want to have. I'm a very big fan of Hitman. I cannot wait to see him on the roster. And I think he will go very, very far. Sorry. Our orange group entrant number 1 is Satanico. I pronounced that name so many times practicing it and then immediately forgot it. It's not a hard name. Santanico. I mentioned him earlier. He has got crazy psychology, crazy brawling. He fits our product to a T. I really like the look of Santanico. I think he can do a lot for us going forward as well. Leads us to our second entrant into the orange group, Scorpio. Another great brawling and psychological wrestler from Mexico. We don't pay too much travel for them, I don't think, comparatively to other regions in Mexico and across the world. I also have some cool ideas between these two, because they're both coming in as these Rudo heels, and I think there's some good ideas for that. And then finally, the third member of the group, Bob Backlund. Another guy I have a lot of faith in. I know he turns out very well in real life. I think he does, at least. I know the name to a good degree, so clearly he's got some potential. And I quite like to see where Bob Backlund can go. Technical wrestler, so probably a great opponent for a Bret Hart, or for, I think, Tully Blanchard also wrestles that technical style as well. Anyway, that is our Battle League groups. I will send it back to myself when we get to our next show. Welcome to Mid-Year Reckoning. we have the blue group today, plus a #1 contenders match between Mike Sharp and Jack Armstrong, before finishing it off with Matt Bourne versus Terry Funk for the world title in the main event. Has Matt Bourne impressed me enough to become world champion? Or will Terry Funk retain? Who wins the blue group between what looks to be three very talented workers? We have a couple of things in the booking analysis that's yelling us for. Mostly it's that Bret Hart, Sammy, and Tommy Rogers are all being used way too much because they're debuting, so they're still listed as unimportant. I'm hoping that changes pretty fast because of how good these guys are. They're going to be on a bunch of cards just to keep them going and get their like company presentation up. Popularity as well, but I think at least Bret Hart's somewhat popular. The rest aren't too much, but that is all fine. Starting the show with Tommy Rogers versus Samu. 36 into debuting superstars, and they have great chemistry. I mean, what else could have gone well here? Tommy Rogers gets a 33, Samu gets a 31. For having, I think, both 1 or 0 popularity in the region, that's great. Very good and great gimmicks, respectively. But Samu defeats him with a diving headbutt. The gimmick changes. Can't use microphone skills, and wins and losses matter a lot to Samu. Interesting thing we have to keep a note of. And Tommy Rogers will sell a lot more merch. That is good. I love people who sell me merch. That gives me money once I have merch and can pay for merch. That is the thing I should do after this episode, because I think at the end of this month we're going to be in the green. So maybe we're going to start making some merch, because we have kind of put it off to make sure our finances don't get terrible. 43 between Bret Hart and Tommy Rogers, a 50 versus a 22. The excellence of execution gimmicks are very good. 50 is just amazing. I mean, yeah, Tommy Rogers gets worse because of stamina. 2 back-to-back matches. He's been wrestling for about 30 minutes now. But Bret Hart with a 50. Better microphone skills. Shouldn't lose to comic people, but that is fine. Oh my. 50 on debut. I think that's the second highest rating on any of our wrestlers. On average, it definitely will be. That's amazing. Okay, I was right about Bret Hart being just stellar. Mike Sharp and Jack Armstrong don't put on a good match. That's annoying. But Mike Sharp defeated Jack Armstrong with an Iron Bomber. Mike got a 34, Jack got a 33. It's a bit sad, but we've got a white-hot crowd going into the Blue League Finals. It is Samu versus Bret the Hitman Hart. I don't think it's Hitman yet. It's just Bret Hart. Sounds weird about the Hitman part. 40 rated match. Bret got a 45. Samu a 28. They have pretty good chemistry. Samu just has great chemistry with both his debut opponents. So good. Bret even getting better as gimmick. He wins with the sharpshooter by submission. And Bret Hart will be fighting in the #1 contenders match. I mean, that is just great to see as well, I think, actually. Bret Hart versus Samu putting on a great match. Again, both debuting, this should get them way over and stop that unimportant thing pretty much immediately, I think. And then the Hitman grabs the mic and says he's really happy to be here. He can't wait to show the crowd why he is the standard of excellence all across Canada and now across America. Once this tournament ends, he can't wait to have dream matches with Jake Roberts, Kelly Blanchard, and of course, Terry Funk once he's won the Battle Leagues. Terry Funk versus Bret Hart will be a banger, I am sure, when that match does eventually come to pass. Signaling 40 is great. And our main event is a 53. Terry Funk got a 67. Oh my. This was a wild brawl between Terry Funk and Matt Bourne. Terry Funk wins with submission with a spinning toe hold. Makes the second defense. I mean, Matt Bourne was off his game. Got a 33. That's fine. 67 by Terry Funk. I think is the highest individual rating so far. And he has basically all of them. But then again, the Hitman might be coming for that crown. Finish off the show. We used Tommy, Samu, Brett far too much, which I'm confident is why this was not a 50, maybe even pushing into the 60. Like, I mean, if these guys are all over, I am sure this is a 60 rated card, and that will take off one more achievement for us. So good to see. Finish the show. We can address the locker room. I mean, Matt Bourne is a great name to give it to. Samu, give them some encouragement. They're both seen pleased. That's fine. Financial report. We actually still made a profit this show. Work cost only $510, still fairly high, but yeah, bonuses and perks. So that is, we paid $250 for travel between Samu, Tommy Rogers, and Bret Hart. So I assume Tommy or Rogers is in another country. I think they're both in another country, which makes it 100, and then in country Samu is 50. I think that's how it works. But see, post show we are under 500 in debt. We're up to 14 in the Southwest. Can we get one more end of the episode? 5 in the Mid-South, 4 in 2 regions of Mexico. I'm trying to start running some extra shows in the Mid-South, maybe even the Northwest, just to try and get that popularity into Canada as well, and try and get us raising it all over North America, which will help us get TV deals in the future as well. Because this thing I've got to look at is getting ourselves on TV pretty quickly. Because we have to rise, we just have to get the popularity of all superstars up across the regions as well, which will happen by being on TV as early as possible and having that coverage across TV as early as possible. Why are they above us? Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling drew 43 fans. It was extremely positive though. Paul Orndorff, he's not wrestling for, I've got to decide, he's not wrestling for us because he's wrestling for Atlantic Grand Prix Wrestling, CCW. I mean, he's even losing. I was going to give him like this massive put. He got a 55. Okay, if we can get him here, that's going to be amazing. What was their main event? Mando Guerrero, 43, Gama Singh. Both guys I actually have looked at and were people I was considering bringing in for this tournament. Decided against in the end, but definitely could see it happening. Media Reckoning, extremely positive. Apparently a great show for all 183, 10 more than last show, I believe. Iceman King Parsons, Kerry Von Erich, and Lou Fabino have been offered by the new company, Sunshine State Wrestling, built in the Southeast. Okay. More competition. Never really a bad thing, so I don't mind too much. Company Wars, are we still in 14th? We are. I mean, we've got to be gaining on Kanto as somewhat quickly, right? We are now 8th in America, but I think we were on the second row start of the episode. So that is great. WWF is tiny now, which I think is quite notable. Can't remember what perks you get for being tiny. I think it's like TV deals and such. But I mean, it's great. Like their many TV deals would be really good, I think, as long as we don't get to medium too far after them. Because that is a bit of a concern if we reach medium a bit later and they're signing people on exclusive contracts before we get a chance to keep our guys. Our only franchise player right now is Terry Funk. Just because the company's going up in size and Terry's the only guy who's kind of keeping up popularity-wise. I mean, he's a 19 in the Southwest right now, which is great. Next big things, Bret Hart is at the top of the list, then Tully Blanchard, Tommy Rogers, then me, and then Jake Roberts. I mean, is Bret Hart going to end up single-handedly selling out arenas and drawing millions of dollars? I would say so, yes, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make that happen. Easily marketable, giving performer passes on knowledge, everything we could possibly want, consummate professional as well. I mean, this is just the perfect wrestler. So good to have him on the roster. So we were able to finally start paying for that. Hot prospects, Bret Hart, Tommy Rogers, Samu, Mike Sharp, and Joshua Ben Gurion. Samu's only 18. Both performances out of an 18-year-old is just incredible. I mean, with an amazing makeup of a wrestler, I think he is going to go super far. Talk for talk, Bret Hart is in third place behind Jake Roberts and Terry Funk. So that's pretty good to see. I want him to try and get a bit higher up because I do think Bret Hart on the mic is great. Jake, Terry, Bret, Tully, all three very on the mic though. Very able to keep them on the mic as much as possible. Our showstoppers, Bret Hart, Tommy Rogers, 1 and 2 still. Then Paul Orndorff before we get back to our top 2 wrestlers in the company right now. None of them are super flashy, but that's not what matters. Mostly it's the in-ring psychology. Ring Generals, Bret Hart, Tommy Rogers, Terry Funk, Tully Blanchard, Paul Orndorff, as you'd expect. Who's hot? Matt Bourne still at 5th. Kevin Von Erich is 3rd highest momentum. I mean, he has been given a great run with us, but probably not being one of the best wrestlers. 13, I mean, I might have to use this round, put someone else over using all popularity that he's managed to get with for us. Who's not? No one's not at any hidden gems that are notable aside. Not sending anyone on this list. Either way, I mean, Matt Bourne has morale issues. Why is that? Doesn't like the Chief Enforcers. Who are the Chief Enforcers? Oh, he doesn't like Iceman King Parsons. That's fine. Anyone here who's good for this role? Do we want to give it to Samu or the Barbarian? I think we had the Barbarian. Maybe that will make Matt Bourne slightly happier. I wouldn't be surprised if we take off Iceman King Parsons. Don't know actually how to do that, but I'm sure we can find a way if we need to. Do we have any more great locker room leaders? We remove any ill-suited candidates. Anyone who is a good, well-suited candidate. Can we do that? Positive influence backstage. Yes. Cool. Bob Backlund, Santanico. I mean, that's quite interesting. Actually, kind of expected Bret Hart to be in here, but I assume it's probably his type of personality just is slightly off for it. Either way, this is all perfectly fine. I am pretty happy with this. I think we have got the Orange League coming up in our next show, so I will skip ahead to Heat of Battle as we get to see Santanico, Scorpio, and Bob Backlund make their debuts. We are at Heat of Battle, the show that gave us our highest rating last year of a 49. Can we beat that today? I think there's a decent chance of it. We have our first ever pre-show match. Because I'm overusing some of these wrestlers when they're making their debut, like Santanico, Scorpio, Bob Backlund will be today, they start off like cool momentum, which is really annoying. But just means I'm going to use a bunch of character ideas and some pre-show matches to hit them all back up a bit more. Should be too big of a deal. And it means we get a Bret Hart, Tommy Rogers, Samu match, and Joshua Ben Giron can take the fall. In the main event, we also have Mike Sharp versus Terry Funk for the world title. And we have a match between Kevin Von Erich, Matt Bourne, the Firefly, and the Barbarian. Because reasons. And getting some other names on the card, giving them some reps and all. Starting off the show, 42. That's kind of what I wanted. Bret Hart, Tony Rogers defeat Joshua Ben Giron and Samu. Like, anything on the pre-show really isn't canon in my mind. Like, anything I'm putting on pre-shows, I don't care about, and it's just dark matches. But Bret Hart got a 60, which is insane. Samu and Tommy Rogers got 34s, and Joshua got a 19. 60 is just insane. That's so good to see. Yep. Next segment. There we go. Santanico defeats Bob Backlund in the first round of the Orange League. Santanico got a 50. Ooh, that's very good. Bob Backlund a 29. I'm happy about that. Bob Backlund shouldn't do too much talking. Santanico, nothing of note. That is, once again, great to see. Next segment. 34 rated 4-way match as the Firefly defeats Kevin Von Erich, Matt Bourne, and the Barbarian. This is just to give Firefly a bit more popularity, trying to keep him a bit hotter, because I do want to keep him, once again, towards the top of the card. So just, yeah, give him my play character a bit more. Matt Bourne got a 36-42 for the Barbarian. That is amazing to see. Kevin Von Erich was a bit off his game, but still got a 31, and so did the Firefly. I'll take that. Kevin Von Erich's got a hot new move as well. Yeah, he's hitting up just the exact right time. Then Bob Backlund defeats Scorpio. Scorpio got an 18? Oh, okay. I may have severely overrated how good Scorpio was going to be. First one, Bob Backlund got a 40. Any gimmick changes I need to know? Bad comedy. Cool, that's fine. So this does mean that Bob Backlund is now 1-1. Scorpio is 0-1, and Santanico is 1-0 in the group. If Scorpio beats Santanico, what is going to happen? What does that mean for the Orange League? C4 rated match, it won't happen because Santanico defeats Scorpio for 39. Santanico was off his game, Scorpio was rusty, all terrible, but Scorpio got a 39 nonetheless. More of a wild ball kind of thing. I think Santanico's probably a bit better at that kind of match, which makes sense. He has like an 80 in brawling. Okay, and then we go to our angle of the night as Santanico gets to his feet and the Heart's music starts playing as Bret Hart comes out to stare down Santanico as they have their clash next month to win the Battle Leagues. And then Terry Funk starts taking his way to the ring for his main event. One of these two men is likely to face Terry Funk to start next episode. Can they take the belt off the Funker? 191 people here as well, I just saw. Great to see. Terry Funk defeats Mike Sharp by submission. Good defense, he got a 55. This is the first ever show where I think Terry Funk wasn't the #1 best performer as long as he was on the card. That is just amazing. 40 overall show. I think that's been punished severely for having Scorpio Santanico and Bob Backlund used too much on the show. Because, and they were impressive. I was right with Bob Backlund. I cut his minutes slightly, and he was able to not use too much, only use too much, not far too much. Lesson learned. There's like an exact minute count there that I've missed, but that's fine. We address the locker room. The Barbarian put on a banger. Who else needs one? Kevin Von Erich, whatever. Scene please. We've gone back to losing money this show, but that is because our worker cost was $830 and $450 paid on travel. And that leaves between all the guys we paid for last year, and then for Santanico and Scorpio who are coming over. That's fine. I don't mind that. Ticket sales nearly at 1,000 per show. Great to see. Popularity recap. Have we gone up? Is this 15? We are at 15 popularity in the Southwest. We are potentially within 2 shows of being a tiny company, making us, I think, like one of the top 5 companies to make that tiny size. I was saying, like, I think once I'm not worried about losing money still, it's probably in another month or 2, I might start running like some non-canon shows in the Mid-South, and then start running more shows in the Mid-South consistently going into next year. This is a way of like building popularity, or even the Northwest, I think I said. Just let's build some popularity around the rest of America and hopefully Canada. Get ourselves some TV deals nice and fast. I think this has been a very, very successful show. And one more thing I do have for you guys while we are loading is Winter Trials got a 53. And not just time, we finally got our achievement. One thing I hadn't done when we got said achievement was actually go to the event grades, tick off we got a 50, and get our prize, because I'm a notable fool. But that is fine. I think that is a good thing to do before we get to our next show. We are going to go to just this page here. Oop. We have to produce an event card of 50 or more. And I think we did that on Winter Trials with a 53. Firefly's yet to get to his 50. We can't get this yet, but it's definitely coming. I know it's coming. I think we do it next episode. I think with a card in my head for next episode, I think we do it. We're nearly at 2% of the way done this achievement. But what are we going to get? 290. So I go knock that off. Oh, we've already got 290. Okay. 307. What do we think 307 is going to give us? Please not a worldwide popularity boost again. Champion prestige up by 1%. I'll take that, actually. I think that's pretty good. So I'm not quite sure how to do that. Oh, behind the curtain. That's one of my buttons. Let's see if I can do this nice and easily. If I edit the title, it's at 35. No, I can't do that. Damn. 35. It will be at 36 by the time I get back to you for summer stakes to finish off our episode. We are ranked 13th in the world. Again, I pressed on the wrong button. We are in the green. The first time ever as a company. We are at positive money. We have $486 in the bank. We are no longer at risk of failing our owner goals and being fired in 170 days. Amazing to see. I'm sure he's going to give us a lovely new challenge once this one expires. But that is not for me to deal with today. It is for me to deal with right now to go to summer stakes and hopefully put on one banger of a match between the Hitman Hart and Santanico. It is our last show of the episode. It is summer stakes, and we have a very big card. It is a 75-minute card, which is by far the longest we have ever put on. It is the longest we are able to put on within our time slot. We have a opening match in Scorpio, Samu the Firefly, and Jack Armstrong. Tully Blanchard takes on Bill Anderson. We have a brawl between Ivan Putski the Barbarian and Matt Bourne. We have the ending of the Battle League between Bret Hart and Santanico. And then, wait, it's a snake attack. Before we have a Terry Funk Open challenge. It should be a very, very good show. I hope you enjoy. Let's get straight into it. $40 ring to open up the show. Scorpio was off his game but got a 25. Samu got a 38. The Firefly got a 30, and Jack Armstrong with a 43. Ooh, that's very good from Jack Armstrong. After the Firefly submits him with a clipped arm lock. Way to start the show off. I think it's very good across the board. Samu with a 38 is saying really to look out for. I'm very happy to see. Next segment. Tully Blanchard defeats Bill Anderson with a slingshot suplex. Tully got a 36. Bill Anderson got a 24. I think I need to keep building Tully Blanchard because he does have a lot of potential as a future. But also, I mean, could go either way. I'm also just going to a conclusion. I don't think I put Battle Leagues on for the winner. So I'm going to make a very quick cut, make sure that's there, and get back to our next match. Okay, as it turns out, I'm not a complete idiot, and it was already there. Just made myself do more editing for no reason. But that's fine. We have a 36 segment rating match where the Barbarian got a 46, Matt Bourne a 44, and Ivan Putski only a 20. I mean, I don't even care. Ivan Putski had a pretty bad match there. The Barbarian defeats Putski and Matt Bourne. Matt Bourne was also made to kind of keep looking pretty strong here, just because I don't want to kill all his momentum, but he is causing some issues backstage. I had to fine him because he's getting a lot of heat. So we'll have to kind of see where we're going with that. I'm very much hoping the Barbarian can kind of take that role that we were going to give to Matt Bourne. Or we just have two of these guys who are great top rollers at the top of our card. As we get to the Battle League final, there was actually a complaint on the show by one wrestler, and this guy who lost this match. But I think they'll deal with it. Both these men are going to be in top storylines going into Crowning Glory, I'm pretty sure. They're definitely the two best workers we signed on that most recent wave. 54 segment match. Bret Hart got 53. Santanico got a 50. Santanico defeated Bret Hart by submission. It was a clean finish for the heel luchador as he wins the FFW Battle League and will face Terry Funk at our next show. They have great chemistry, and that is amazing as well. Santanico does have very bad momentum right now, but I'm confident that's going to bounce back, especially with how we're going to book him. Santanico and Bret Hart, amazing match. Anything that could possibly pull us down. They were holding back a bit because it was a storytelling match. There's low locker room morale right now as well. That's fine. I can make do with that. Apparently, we had an odd face heel situation. I think Bret faced Santanico's heel. It's going to be Bret Hart's a heel, and I've messed this up. But that is fine. I will fix that a bit later. This is an amazing match between the Hitman and there's probably some sort of demon name, but the Rudo in a 33-second match. That's not great. That's actually really bad. Is there any reason why this was really bad? Of morale. Okay. Jake Roberts just rolls into the ring and starts attacking Bret Hart out of nowhere. And Santanico just kind of rolls away and lets Bret Hart be left a bloody, beat mess in the middle of the ring. As Jake Roberts stands tall, the Snake seems to have his new target. Okay. And then our main event is a Terry Funk Open Challenge. 64 rated match between him and Aeroflash. Oh my, I thought Aeroflash had a lot of potential. He is a 19-year-old. He is, I think, younger than Samu. Terry Funk is 66. Aeroflash got off on his debut, and they've got great chemistry. Oh, I did not see that coming. Nothing else but the gimmick. Oh my, okay. I thought Scorpio was going to be a way better luchador than Aeroflash is. That is amazing to see. To finish off the show. Santanico was used far too much in the show. That's not surprising. I don't mind that. A 56 rated show. That is just stellar. We are going to congratulate Bret Hart. Who else needs any congratulations after today? Who's not like in a good mood? Maybe we'll give it to Tully. Oh my. That is a way to end the show. Negative nearly 400. Because our worker costs were over 1,000 for the first time. With 600 in travel. But I really just do not care if we are putting on shows that good. Popularity, we are up to 16. We didn't even reach popularity cap. We have gone up every single show this episode. And I mean, you just cannot be complaining about how good that is. I love to see it. I'm very happy that I was able to put on a show like that and you guys got to see. It also means coming out of this episode, we have two major storylines to follow through with. Bret Hart is definitely going to be in a feud with Jake Roberts after that. And I'm sure there's going to be something for Santanico and Terry Funk. 195 fans, extremely positive. It was a great, great show. Jake Roberts does not think Samu is very good and connects with the crowd. I mean, his charisma isn't amazing, but also he has great star quality. Jake, you are wrong and a fool. I am sorry. I'll make you put over Samu and then you can learn. We are 1,000 in the green to end the episode, which I think gives me enough that I am on board with let's start the merchandise. For your rapid speed, we're going to be losing 500 a month. I think we are making enough that I do not have to worry about that. And it will give us 25% progress per month. We can get up to this next level very, very fast and we can reassess. I love this idea. 0.5 per fan and $1 per region. I think that's more than worthwhile with where we are now. Cool. Upgrading that process has begun. We've also upped the title Battle League is up to 46 after that Santanico Bret Hart match. The World Championship is up to 37 after that defense. As Terry Funk has got 120 days on this title run. 62 days away from making the longest title run in the company. 1 day longer than Jake Roberts had it. And he has made 4 defenses, the most tied with his last one. Can he hold it for 1 more defense? Can he break that record? Next episode, we have Terry Funk vs. Santanico. We have the shootout. And then we have our season finale, Crowning Glory. Last year, only got a 40. We can easily top that this year. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, all the weird algorithm things that I meant to say as a YouTuber. Take care. Firefly out.